Welcome to Coach Bennett's podcast, where every run has a purpose, where kindness is hardcore, where this is about running, and this is not about running, where every starting line is a finish line in disguise, where rambling still gets you where you need to be, where pineapple will never ruin your pizza, and the sodas, adult and not adult kind, are always cold, and where there is room on the starting line for everybody. I'm Coach Bennett. Thank you for letting me be a part of your day. Let's get started. Welcome to another episode of Coach Bennett's podcast, and this one is going to be a rock show of sorts. And what I mean by that is it's going to be on the fly, exciting. I hope it's going to be different, a spectacle of sorts, because I decided I'm going to base all of my advice based on U2 song names. Yes, you're going to pick up on what's happening really quickly. Let me just say, I wanted to mix things up. I was sitting down. I knew the topic I wanted to talk about, which was how to start running and keep on running. And keep on running could also be or keep on running, because this isn't just for people that are thinking, I want to start running or start running again, or start over with my running. This is also people who are still running and want to keep on running, which means they really want to make sure they start another run. So I figured, you know what? It's the same instructions to both. And you know that. If you're somebody who's consistently run, you know that there have been moments when you've stopped running for a whole host of reasons. It doesn't have to do with sickness or injury, or at least it doesn't have to do with sickness or injury. It could be you were burnt out mentally or emotionally from running. It could be that you ended your training cycle and you had just finished racing and you're taking some time off, or maybe life got in the way, or travel, whatever. The point is, you had to start over again, right? And for those of you that are consistently running and have been consistently running, you know that every new run, you're kind of sort of starting over again. And this figures into everyone's journey as a runner. So I thought, you know what? This is what we're going to do. We're going to talk about this, but let's mix it up. And I actually was putting together a playlist of different songs that could do this. And suddenly I put together 6 or 7 or 8 U2 songs. I was like, you know what I could do? I could do it with just U2 songs. I could do this as a complete mixtape using different bands, but I figure I'll do a mixtape of U2 songs, and what I'll also do is I'll put together a playlist so you can listen to the songs afterwards, because come on, you gotta love U2, and if you don't love U2, there might be something wrong with you. I'm just saying that. I'm biased. I'm a big U2 fan, but I will say that there's probably something wrong with you. Now, don't get me wrong. Music, it's personal. You know, everyone has their own taste. I get it. But this is like chocolate ice cream, as far as I'm concerned. And if you don't like chocolate ice cream, you don't have to love chocolate ice cream, but who doesn't like chocolate ice cream? You know? Is there better ice cream? There is. There's mint chocolate chip. But, chocolate ice cream? Come on. So that's why I'm using U2. And I'm using U2 because their song titles are awesome. And their music is great. And maybe if you haven't been listening to U2 or don't listen to a lot of U2, this is an opportunity for you too to listen to some U2. So check out the playlist. In fact, if you want, playlist could be on in the background while we're doing this. So here's my first tip for everyone, not just people that aren't running and not just people that are running. This is for everyone, okay? So if you're thinking to start over, start again, or keep on starting, this is for you. The first song title I'm going to bring up is Get Out of Your Own Way. Great song, by the way. Get out of your own way. This stops so many people, and by this I mean the people. Stop the people from just getting to a starting line and running. I'm talking about you get in your own way and keep you from accomplishing so much. In this specific instance, we're talking about running, but you could bring this out of running because, as you know, this is about running and this is not about running. But so many people
limit themselves and what they can do. They get in their own way. They block their progression. They slow themselves down. I'm telling you, it happens all the time. And there's something I say to people when they come up and they're like, well, I haven't been doing this, I haven't been doing that, and I know they want to ask me how to start running or if they can start running. And I always tell them, you're always good enough to get better, which means you're always ready to start getting better, which means you're ready to start. Now, they could be dealing with injury or sickness, whatever, and maybe this is delayed, but you can do stuff in the meantime to get ready. You can get prepared. You can start planning for when you're going to start running. But the reality is, if you're not sick, you're not hurt, yes, you can start running. Now, it doesn't need to be 50 minutes long. It doesn't have to be a 5K. You don't need to run the way you once ran. You don't already have to be able to run the way you someday want to be able to run. These are all of these things that we put in front of us to block our progression, to keep us from getting to and over starting lines. So the first song is Get Out of Your Own Way. The next song is One. Oh yeah, I love One. One of their all-time best. I mean, come on, so incredible. And the live versions, oof, so good. I could break down the lyrics right now and just tell you. I mean, but, just, all right, we're going to move on. But, I mean, come on. And now the struggle is, which version of One do I put on the playlist? Do I put 2? Maybe I do. 1 and 1 equals 2. I don't even know what I'm talking about anymore. I'm just so in love with the song. But remember, whether you're starting over, starting again, or you just want to keep going, focus on the one run you need to do. Don't worry about all of the runs that you have ahead of you. You only have one run ahead of you. Don't worry about all the runs that you've done in the past. You have one run in front of you. The run you can do. The only run you can do. The next run or the run you're in. That's all you need to focus on. It can be overwhelming for people when they start running again or they start a training journey because they immediately go to the end of the journey and think, how am I ever going to get there? Well, I don't know if you're going to get there. As a coach, I have no idea. Hopefully the training plan has been set up intelligently to give us the best opportunity to eventually get there. But the only way to get there is to get through this first. And this first is this run we're doing. One run at a time. Now, another song by U2 is called Seconds. And I want you to focus on seconds because it's an interesting way to look at a run, especially if you're getting overwhelmed by how much you have to do or if you're getting overwhelmed by the fact that I haven't been running for a really long time. I told you it starts with one run. But another way of looking at that first run or the next run you're going to do is not by minutes, not by miles, not by meters. Look at it as seconds. See, a lot of people that have run before and are going to start back up running again, they will diminish that first run back. They'll say, oh, it's only going to be 10 minutes or 5 minutes. It's only going to be 3K or whatever it is that they think they have to do. And I always say, break it down into seconds. So instead of going for a 5-minute run, go for a 300-second run. And I want you to focus on those seconds. I want you to focus on how much you can accomplish in a second or 5 seconds or 20 seconds. I want you to really be in the moment. I want you to be thinking about those seconds that are passing by. The fact that 10 seconds, you can get all the way from here to that park bench. In 40 seconds, you can get from here to that light post. In 180 seconds, you can get from here to that house on the corner. It's pretty amazing what we can accomplish in seconds. And I'm using that as opposed to a K or a mile or a minute. Because we don't think about our running in seconds. We don't think about all of the movement that we just go through in 1 second of running. And if you do, I think you'd have a little bit more respect about what you're trying to do. And I think it would also relax you a little bit on what you're trying to do. Because I think sometimes we think it takes more than it really does to accomplish that one run. Because that one run is hopefully going to do its job. And the job of a first run is to lead to a next run. But here's the thing. All your runs, one of their goals is that it leads to a next run. So think about that. Don't set your runs up to keep you from a next run, okay? All right, the next song I'm going to bring up, I guess this is the fourth one, One Step Closer. Another great U2 song. Remember, every run should get you one step closer to where you want to go, but also one step closer to who you want to be. And if you're doing this the right way, it's not just one step closer to who you want to be or where you want to go or what you want to accomplish. It's also one step past where you were, because every run should end with you better. So be thinking about that, all right? Be thinking as you're going on these runs that you are getting closer to where you want to go, who you want to be, and maybe you should be thinking about the fact that who you want to be is really achievable with every run. You want to be a better version of yourself, right? I mean, I think that's one thing, one goal every runner has in common. We all believe and have the hope that the run we're doing is going to end with us better in some way. So just by crossing the starting line, we're getting one step closer to that. And when we cross the finish line, we have achieved that, regardless of the distance, regardless of the duration. So I think if you look at each run as you getting closer to so many different things and or accomplishing so many things, you're going to have more motivation to do that run, to start running, to keep running, okay? All right, so another one, great song, is All Because of You. Another great U2 song. I could have put this later. I was thinking about putting this later in the playlist, but I want it early because I want you to remember this is all because of you. All that's going to happen is because of you. I hear from so many of you, thank you for helping me with my running journey, or thank you for, helping me run 42.2K, or thank you for, the PB at the 5K. And I universally write back, just remember, it's because of you. It's not because of me. I talked. I didn't power this. I didn't get you to the starting line. I didn't get you to press start. I didn't get you to keep going. That when I am talking to you and I'm giving you, instructions, advice, coaching, guidance, you don't have to listen to any of it. So those decisions are being made by you, which means you're the coach. You're the one actually making the decisions. So just remember, it's all because of you. And I say that because I think it's important early on for you to acknowledge that. And I think a lot of people don't acknowledge it because they think there's nothing to acknowledge early on in training. Or if you are someone who consistently runs, it's just another run on a Tuesday. It's just another run on a Thursday. It's just another long run, as opposed to you accomplished a lot with that Tuesday run, with that Thursday run, with that Saturday long run. A lot was achieved. And I'm not just talking about the distance and the duration, but if you think about everything you need to do just to put a run together, to find the time to do a run, it's consequential to your day and to your life. So it's important to also remember it's all because of you. And I want you to take pride in that. Oh, another U2 song, Pride in the Name of Love. Yes, one of their greatest songs of all time, but I want you to be proud of it. Because here's the thing, if you are proud of the fact that you started a run, if you're proud of the fact that you found time to run, if you're proud of the fact that you finished the run, got through the run, came back for a run, ran in the rain, ran in the snow, ran in the dark, if you're proud of these things, you will feel better about yourself because of these things. And if you feel better about yourself because of these things, you will want to continue to do these things. So don't feel like those feelings of pride need to wait until you accomplish the goal at the end of this journey. There is so much you're accomplishing on the way during this journey. Don't wait. You don't have to wait to say we're going to celebrate everything at the end. You can celebrate along the way. In fact, the journey will be better if you celebrate along the way. So make sure you are proud of what you're doing, because if you're proud of what you're doing, you will stay in this sport. Yes, that's the name of the next song, Stay. It's actually Stay, and then in parentheses, Far Away, So Close. We're going to focus on Stay, because I think it's that lasting power that leads to consistency, right? I mean, you can't not be here and be consistent. You can't show up inconsistently and be consistently present. So I want you to stay in this sport. And one way you stay in this sport is you enjoy this sport. And one way you enjoy this sport is you acknowledge what you've achieved and accomplished in this sport. So in order to be consistent, you need to stay. And in order to stay, you need to experience success. So don't diminish your own success or ignore your own success. Be proud of your success. And every run you start and finish, there's two things to be proud of. Okay, so pride and stay. All right? And what's going to happen is these feelings that you get of pride, of satisfaction, of joy, you're going to start desiring these things more and more. Ooh, do we have another song title? We do. Desire, Off, Rattle, and Hum, a great album. Desire is a great song, one of my favorites. But that desire is something that you can build and take advantage of in this sport. You can desire to push yourself, to take on challenges, to set goals, to meet up with friends. You can desire that feeling of worthy fatigue. You know what I mean? The fatigue that fills you up, not the fatigue that drains you, like so many negative stressors in our life often do. You want to desire going for a run. And one way you can desire going for a run is making sure you set yourself up to enjoy the run, to have fun running, to challenge yourself in positive ways. So make sure you are taking part in the sport in a way that makes you desire the sport more. Running and you, it's a relationship. Don't forget that. And every great relationship, there needs to be desire there. So you can desire the friendship, the laughter that comes with it, the feeling of safety that you have or being understood by these people. Those are the relationships, and you want to foster those things, okay? You want to protect those things. So those aspects that you desire in certain relationships, think about what you desire in your relationship with running and protect those things, okay? Because it's relationships are mysterious, and how those relationships flourish and continue, well, Mysterious Ways, which is another song by U2. So be open to the mysterious ways that this sport and you have a relationship, and the mysterious ways that running makes you feel, and the mysterious ways that running pushes you and challenges you and supports you. Because like I said, it is a relationship, and every great relationship will have its mystery, all right? The one thing I want you to also remember, since it is a relationship and it is ongoing and relationships change, the best relationships change, okay? They're going to be different now than they were 5 years ago, 10 years ago. If you have these lifelong relationships, you'll see the ebbs and the flows of those relationships and how it has, in fact, changed. So I want you to be okay with the fact that your running relationship is going to change. And there will be times when you're going to feel like, I don't know why I'm doing this, or I'm not quite sure what I want to get out of running, but it may not be what you once got out of it. So you may be going on runs and finish the run and think, I still haven't found what I'm looking for, because what you're looking for is something different than it was. And yes, I still haven't found what I'm looking for is one of the all-time great U2 songs ever, okay? That's off Joshua Tree. So I still haven't found what I'm looking for. That is something you need to be open to. Because if you keep finding starting lines, you will eventually find what you're looking for, or you will realize you no longer want to look for whatever it was you were looking for. And then you will look for something else, and you will probably find it. That's what I'm saying. Because for me, every time I go for a run, especially now, since I'm not training for races or anything like that, I go out there and I'm like, I wonder why I'm really going for this run today. Not in a negative way, in an excited way. What is the purpose of this run other than the fact that I love running and I know it makes me feel better? But sometimes it's to explore the town I'm in. Sometimes it's because I want to push myself and I want to get really tired. Sometimes it's I don't want to think about anything. I just want to look around and enjoy nature. Sometimes I really want to hash out a problem. So it's okay to start a run and not know exactly what you're looking for. And it's okay to finish a run and still have not found it. So it's also good to listen to. I still haven't found what I'm looking for on a run. Okay? So, all right, next. There's a uniqueness to you as a runner, and there's a uniqueness to the way that you experience this sport. I think there is so much that we share as athletes in this sport, but you are also sharing it in a very unique way. So we may do the same run at the same time on the same course, right next to each other, same trail, everything. You're going to have a unique experience compared to mine. We may share aspects of the experience, but yours will be unique. You are an original of this species, an original of the species of runner, okay? And yes, the name of the song is Original of the Species, another gem later in their career, absolute banger. I love it. It's so good. And it kind of crescendos towards the end, so you got to listen to the entire thing. But I love it. But it's important to remember that, because I can give advice. You can give advice. Your neighbor can give advice. And we can all be giving advice based on the run we just had, and it can all be slightly different advice. And whoever we're giving that advice to, they are going to be perceiving and taking in and processing the advice we're giving to them in a unique way, and they will use it in their own unique way. It may rhyme with what we say, but it will not be exactly what we say. It will not repeat what we say identically. It can't. You've heard me say, history doesn't repeat, but it often rhymes. It's the same thing with when you're giving advice to people. Everyone has their own lives, their own special way they're going to be taking the advice and then using it, because the run that they're on is not the exact run you're on, even if it shows up on the GPS as such. But it's not. It's going to be experienced uniquely. So remember, you as a runner, as an athlete, as a human, you are an original of the species. It's another reason why I tell you to write down your running log, how it went, how you experienced it, because no one has your story. You are the only one with your story, okay? Which leads me to maybe my favorite U2 song, With or Without You. And when you go on a run, the reason why I'm going to use this, I was like, how am I going to talk about With or Without You? Because I love this song so much. The way I'm going to use it is this. You are the only version of you. The run you're going to go on, you can do it with or without who you truly are. I'm just saying, running should get you closer to who you wholly are, WHOLLY, are, the entirety of you, who you really are meant to be. It should not keep you from who you really are. And since you are an original, you should embrace that. You should allow yourself to be who you really are. So the run will get done with or without you, the real you. But I will say this, the run will be better if it's the real you, the whole you, the you that you are meant to be. If that's the athlete doing the run, there's a better chance for you to do something extraordinary. There's a better chance for you to be at your best, because you at your best is never part of you. It's always all of you. So the run, yes, it will get done with or without you. But with you, the real you, we have a chance at a better run. Which leads me to my next one, which is So Cruel, another great song off their album Achtung Baby. We can be so cruel to ourselves out there on the run. And I talk about this all the time, and I'm going to talk about it all the time because it happens all the time. We can be terrible teammates to ourselves. We can be awful coaches to ourselves. We can be the worst friends to ourselves. We can be so cruel. Now listen, I know So Cruel, this sounds terrible. It's an awesome song. Beautiful song. So listen to the song. But back on this. If when we are cruel, we don't strengthen ourselves. When we are cruel, we don't push ourselves. We pull ourselves back. When we are cruel, we are further away from the best version of ourselves. We limit ourselves. We are not at our best. We can't be at our best when part of us is being cruel, because that is all about diminishment, humiliation. It's about negating. It's about less, not more. So when we are cruel, when we are mean, when we are nasty, when we are crappy teammates and coaches and friends to ourselves, we are self-sabotaging ourselves. We are slowing ourselves down, artificially too. Fitness-wise, physically, we should be performing better than we are. Emotionally, we should be performing better than we are. Mindfully, we should be performing better than we are. But when we're cruel, we are diminishing all of those things. We are actually taking away from the potential outcome. We are lessening the potential outcome because we cannot achieve our best. There's no possibility when we are being cruel to ourselves. So it's just stupid. It's bad coaching. It's crappy teammates. Don't do that. Don't do that. It's not easy to be a great teammate to yourself, but it's harder to be a bad teammate to yourself. It's not easy to be a great teammate to yourself, but you make it harder on yourself when you're a bad teammate to yourself. Okay? All right. Now, that doesn't mean if you're supportive and you're a great teammate to yourself that all the runs are going to be easy. That's not what I'm saying. There are some runs, as you know, they're just going to suck. And I even have that guided run called the Success Run, Success, because the reality is some runs are just going to suck. Some runs are just going to be hard from start to finish, even though it's supposed to be an easy run. And some of them are going to be hard physically, and we're going to be confused because mentally and mindfully we feel great. Other ones we're going to feel great physically, but mindfully, mentally, emotionally, we're not feeling great. And sometimes everything just sucks, okay? Which is why you have to just have a moment of surrender, which is another great U2 song, Moment of Surrender. Oh, it's so good. And they had a tour maybe like 9 years ago, and that was the song they ended on, which is amazing because it was on an album that not many people bought, which is shocking because it's an unbelievable album, and not many people had heard the song, but it was a perfect song to end the tour with, to end each concert with on the tour is really what I'm saying. Moment of Surrender. It's fantastic. And what I mean by that is not quitting. What I'm saying is sometimes you have to surrender yourself to the situation. And sometimes on those runs where it's just like, you know what? I feel like garbage. Okay, I will surrender to that. I'm going to stop fighting that. I don't feel great. Now we can do something. Now we can actually say, hey, I don't feel great. Maybe the right thing to do is back off the pace or back off the distance or just stop. Maybe the point of the run is to get through the run not feeling great and realizing I can do things, hard things, when everything is hard. So sometimes we just have to have that moment of surrender where it is what it is. It doesn't mean you're resigning yourself to doing nothing. What it is saying, here it is. I'm going to go with the flow here. And I will then adjust as needed, as opposed to, I don't feel good. I'm going to fight that feeling. I'm stressed out. I'm going to lie to myself and pretend I'm not stressed out. No, I am stressed out. I will surrender to the fact that I'm stressed out. Now what? Now how do I handle this? And I'll tell you what, when you do that, which is just being honest with yourself, you're going to coach yourself better. You're going to be a better teammate to yourself. You're going to be a more valuable friend to yourself. And what you realize in those situations, and when you do this, what you realize is these adjustments you make, the changes you make, the actions you take, they're not coming from a dishonest place. They're not coming from a place of fear or anger. It's coming from a better place. And what you realize is that if you can just support yourself, be there for yourself, be honest with yourself, really just love yourself in the moment, who you are, as opposed to saying, I wish I was somebody that wasn't struggling right now, you realize that fuel that you've got there, love, that's it. That's really powerful. And you realize that love is bigger than anything in its way. And yes, that is the name of the U2 song, Love is Bigger Than Anything in Its Way, which is an amazing song. And there's a remix that Beck, the artist Beck, did, B-E-C-K, which may even be better than the original song. I'm going to debate. I'm not going to debate anything. I'm going to put both versions, the album version and that on there. But anyway, what you realize is that love is in fact bigger than anything in its way, which is a really good thing to know if you're trying to start a running journey or you're in the midst of a running journey, because you're going to need that fuel. And it's a much stronger, cleaner, powerful fuel than hate or anger or fear. And it's going to get you through hard runs. It's going to get you through great runs too, though. And that's the thing. And what happens is when you get through those hard runs, when you get through those great runs, you just feel powerful. You feel strong. You feel joyous. You feel confident. You feel better. Running can be truly like a miracle drug, which is the name of a U2 song, Miracle Drug. Great song. You should listen to it. And I don't mean that in any of the negative ways of drug. I'm talking about the fact that this is something you create. When you finish a run, the euphoria that you can sometimes feel, or just the satisfaction of just having been out there and pushing yourself. That feeling of calm sometimes that comes after a run. Sometimes it's excitement. Sometimes we start a run tired and we end a run energized. That's that miracle drug that's coming from inside of you. Remember, it's a reaction inside of you, and not just a chemical reaction. It's a reaction to your surroundings, the environment, the people you're with, the fuel and the fluids that you've had, your mindset. And when you finish a run, and really any kind of activity, could be dance, it could be a walk and a hike, it could be playing tennis, it doesn't matter. It's more often than not, that movement makes us feel better. And you can put an asterisk there for better, because people can define better any way they want. It is like a miracle drug, movement. It is so powerful, and it is so good for us. And that's why it's also important to remember that everyone can benefit from this miracle drug. Everyone. Yes, doesn't matter how old you are or how young you are. It's also another note to anyone who works in the school system: make sure you're letting the kids move. That physical activity will help them sit in their seats and focus better. It will help them behave better. It will help them be more confident, more social, if you just allow them to move. And guess what? We're all kids. So adults, you need to move too, especially if you're sitting in a chair all day long. You will be able to handle sitting in the chair as long as you are, and you will be much more proactive and much more productive while you're sitting in that chair if you are incorporating some movement throughout your day. And when you move, when you run, let's just all admit it, it's a more beautiful day, isn't it? I mean, the day may not be that beautiful before the run, but it's more beautiful. All right? I mean, again, this is semantics. Some people are like, well, this is a really crappy day. This is an ugly day. I get it. We have those days. But when you move, when you go for a run, yes, it may not be beautiful, but isn't it true that it's more beautiful than it was? Okay. So now the question is, well, I mean, how are you defining beautiful? How much beautiful do you have to be a beautiful day? I mean, yes, could it be more beautiful? Of course it could be. But now it could be less beautiful because you added a little beauty to your day. And I think that's an important thing to remember. When you're having a hard day and you go for a run or you do a dance in your room, yes, it's still a hard day. I'm not going to tell you that a run is going to fix the entirety of a hard day. But what I am saying is that maybe it's a little bit better now, right? Maybe it's a little bit more beautiful today than it was. Maybe there was no beauty in your day and now there's a little bit. But let's protect the fact that there's a little bit of beauty in your day. And by the way, Beautiful Day is an all-time best U2 song, so you should check that out too. Now, the key here is to remember that running can be used for so many different things. So I just talked about how you could be having a hard day, or you can go out there and you could be having a great day, and it's a little bit greater. The point is you can run for so many different reasons. Remember that. It doesn't have to be to go further or go faster. It can be for so many different reasons. Sometimes you can do a run just to stand still. Yes, one of my favorite U2 songs of all time is called Running to Stand Still. And I think it's a great way to look at some of your runs. Sometimes you feel out of control. Sometimes your day's been very hectic. Sometimes it's been one project after another project, or one ask after another ask. And sometimes you need to actually run to slow down. You need to run to feel like you're standing still. You need to run to find some peace. And I think that's one of the great aspects of this latest running boom, is that this last running boom, it didn't come out of people saying, I want to run a faster 5K or marathon. It came out of COVID, where people needed peace. They needed calm. They needed confidence. They needed to experience less fear. It was one of the few socially acceptable ways where you could be social with people. And as a result, people were introduced to running. So many people were introduced to running for really non-classic running reasons. Not, I'm trying to get fitter physically, or I'm trying to run a faster marathon, or I'm training for my first 10K. No, it was a lot of mindful, mental, and emotional well-being aspects of running. And those people now are experiencing, oh, maybe I do want to try a race, or I do want to get involved in a run crew, or I want to try an ultra, or get on the trails, or get on the track. And they are experiencing some of the performance side. I think the cool thing is their foundation, though, are all these other reasons to run. So if you started in running from a performance lens, I think it's important to remember that you can run for way more than just performance. Or I should say physical performance. There can be emotional performance benefits, mindful performance benefits that you can incorporate. And one of them can be running to stand still. And I think if you realize all of this, you will start over, you will start again. Because running is one of those things that gets you moving. And, sometimes you can feel in life that you're stuck. You're stuck in a moment that you can't get out of, right? And that is another U2 song, Stuck in a Moment You Can't Get Out of. Another great one about Michael Hutchence, or at least inspired by Michael Hutchence of INXS. That's why Bono wrote it. Bono, the lead singer of U2. Anyway, the point is that it's a great way to visualize a run. You're never in the same place after a run than where you were when you started. Even if you start and finish in the same place, you're no longer in the same place. You have moved. You have unstuck yourself from the geographic location and the moment. The moment has passed. Yes, what you may be stressed out about may still be there, but that moment is in the past. This is a new moment, and hopefully with the run, with the movement, you can look at that moment you felt you were stuck in a new way, and maybe you can now unstuck yourself. Use running for more than just running. Let your running be about more than just running. And if you can do that, then your running can help you with more than just running. And if you do that, then I think you're going to be running for as long as you want to, for as far as you want to. You can run wherever you want to. You can run in a new city, a new town, a new trail. You can run where the streets have no names. Yes, I'm ending with where the streets have no names. Not just because the first line of the song is, I want to run, but it's just, come on, it's so good. And yes, I also will be wondering, do I put the live version or the studio version? I think I'm going to do the album version and a live version because they're just too good to not do that. But if you want to look at the metaphor here, remember that running can take you wherever you want to go, literally or figuratively. It's up to you. You just need to get to a starting line and cross it. Now, I hope you enjoyed this. I had a blast, and I'm going to have a blast putting together the playlist and sharing it with you. Check it out. It's in the show notes. You'll have access to it. All of the songs I mentioned will be in there. I hope you listen to that as well, and I hope you share this episode because I think it's a good one for anyone who's looking to start over, start again, or keep on running. So thank you for listening. Thank you for being a part of this community. Thank you for falling in love with U2, or already being in love with U2. And until next time, take care of yourself. Take care of each other, and I'll meet you on the next starting line. Thank you so much for listening to Coach Bennett's podcast today. And if you haven't already subscribed or set yourself as a follower to the podcast, I really hope you would. And make sure you check out the show notes, because in those show notes, you're going to find a link to Coach Bennett's newsletter and all the social media sites I'm on, like Instagram and Threads and Cameo and Blue Sky and Nope, not on that one anymore. So all the ones I am on, you're going to find it in the show notes, so check that out as well. And as always, Thank you again for listening to Coach Bennett's podcast. Until next time, you keep taking care of yourself and each other.